Welcome back. Time for more Tavern Talk. Disaster, tea, and revelations. Ooh. What's gonna happen? I wonder what disaster tea tastes like. What flavor do you think it would be? Anyway, let's start the day. Bok, bok, bok. Who's gonna show up? Clay! Ah! Welcome. You don't have time for this, innkeeper. Disaster is afoot. What a wonderful way to start the morning, Tia. I really missed you. We missed you too. Thank you, Clay. Can I offer you a drink in exchange for a little insight into your disasters? Yes. Something that feels strong and magic-y, right? You remembered. Yes, that one, please. Coming right up. Strong and magic-y. Strong. I do wonder what's going on. What's wrong? Strong and magic-y? Silent owl. Ooh. Sailor's courage, maybe? Yeah. Let's give him the courage. Who needs common sense anyway? Okay. Let's see. Maybe haste? Let's see. What would be good for this? Yeah, let's go with golden feather. Oh, I wonder what happened. I am very concerned. You can tell how concerned I am by the way I'm jauntily swaying to the music. Oh, Shrungian. Ooh. Here you go, Andu. Let's see. Okay. Let's start again. Strength. Here's strength. And a little bit of defense. There we go. Nailed it. Thank you, Andu. I love you. Something tasty and strong, but hopefully not disastrous. Very tasty, very strong. You've really got the best drinks around. Happy to hear that, Clay. Tia, you're bursting at the seams. How are the archives? Horrifying. They were challenging, certainly. The bleak stalkers were. Bleak? You're truly a master of words. The entrance Jay told us about was teeming with countless of those nightmare creatures. But we fought our way through with the strength you lent us and snuck inside the half-collapsed tunnels, only to find even more bleak stalkers had infested the Everbloom's insides. I wouldn't call it infesting, they live there. Clay tried to reason with them. They responded by tearing into him with their rows of sharp teeth. Not everyone wants to be your friend, I guess. They kept trying to bite Tia too, so I got angry and helped her fight. Do you regret it? No, I'm glad I helped out. Thanks to your unsanctioned divine blessings, innkeeper, we cut through them like butter. Unsanctioned to you? Audacity isn't a replacement for a license. We were quite spent after clearing out so many monsters, and Clay suggested we take a break, though we made sure not to waste too much time. We had to make it back in time for the barbecue, after all. That meant we had to be efficient during our search. Large parts of the Everbloom had collapsed, but even the explorable sections were unbelievably spacious. So we split up to cover more ground. A dangerous choice. That's when the monsters get you. Don't split the party. That's what you learn in D&D. That's what Clay said. So I enchanted the friendship bracelets. That way they would always sense in which direction the other person was located. Magic bracelets! I love that idea. Oh, they are wearing the friendship bracelets. Oh, they're so cute. I want one. Can I be friends with you guys? So neither of us would get lost. It was so smart. It was. Very useful. I see you kept yours on. I did. They really helped with navigating around the archives, too. It's a beautiful place, you know? I mean, everything's overgrown with vines or withered and full of termites. But we could still tell how much care had gone into building it. Some of the tree branches still had leaves on them. And I saw a couple of stubborn lotus daisies trying to break through around the rocks. I watered them. Maybe they'll grow stronger again soon. Oh, this sounds so lovely. I wish I could see it. What a shame all the effort that went into building the archives was for nothing. But it wasn't. It meant something to someone once. And I could still feel that love in it, even during our visit. Maybe it'll even bloom again. It's called the Everbloom, right? Like forever? I wonder who named it. We should go back sometime and see if we can find any information about the archivists. I bet they knew some great drinking games. Perhaps we should honor their contributions by studying the knowledge they left behind. Why not both? These should be people first, symbols second. Oh, yes. I guess both would work too. Good idea, Clay. What else did you find in the archives? Besides the beauties and horrors of time, I mean. I found a book of pressed flowers I can't wait to read. And a recipe. A recipe? An incomplete one. We also tried to translate it properly, but we lacked the necessary reference material. We still thought it appropriate to bring you the draft. I'm sure you can do something worthwhile with it. Ooh, last whisper. I'm sure I can. Thank you very much. New recipe. New recipe, new recipe. Let's see, where is it? Oh, there. Last whisper. Oh, that's ominous looking. The last whisper makes me fast, strong, and tough. If too much equals bad. If just enough equals tasty. Don't forget cute skull. Enter correct spell here. Lorem ipsum dolor sit amet consider. Interesting. Let's say mainly speed, but basically, other than dexterity, it gives you a little bit of everything except charisma. Interesting. As for me, I found a well-hidden study. The bleak stalker guarding it fell to my ambush and I was free to explore. It was a complete mess, full of scriptures, scrolls, and written ramblings that would be forbidden these days. A little exciting and worrying. The papers I was able to translate spoke of the apocalypse, of the end of it all. There was research on the roots of the aether tree and how to unbind them, written with shaking hands and fading ink. Was this more the scholarly or mad scientist type of research? Hard to tell. The lines tend to blur with blasphemy. Do you know a lot about the aether tree? Because Tia gave me a whole presentation about it. Oh, did she make a PowerPoint? A whole PowerPoint showing everything about the aether tree. I wouldn't mind a refresher. It's a giant tree. Good start. A world tree. That means our world rests on it. In it. Around it? Somewhere. In it, mostly. Depends on who you ask. Dragons guard the tree because they created it? Maybe, but definitely because they care for us. And since we live in it, it should keep existing as it does now, because no one wants their house to crumble. A lot of people would get hurt if something happened to everyone's home. That's true, but luckily for us, damaging the aether tree isn't possible. It's larger than we could ever imagine. To us, it's really more of a concept than a tree. And the dragons defend it. Despite their oath of neutrality, they're no easy foes. But Cassiopeia was cast down. What if someone cast down Cassiopeia so she couldn't guard the tree? Oh no! Is this the apocalypse? There is one way. The sigils of Alcahest. The what now? The sigils of Alcahest. They're the key to destroying the aether tree, according to the scrolls I studied under the archive's candlelight. Are they some sort of spell? More of a manual to a self-fulfilling prophecy, a way of breaking the cosmos in accordance with its own rules. For the tree to crumble, its foundation must be fractured. The 5 sigils of Alcahest represent the 5 dragons, each of which must be damaged to topple our world's balance. Only then can our cosmos reshape itself. The scrolls spoke of experiments for creating a sigil, unsuccessful experiments. That's reassuring. I wonder if the archivists and the archives fell into ruin because someone felt that that knowledge was too dangerous to be kept hidden around. And clearly, if the archivists were archiving the works, then they would have known all of this stuff. Were they silenced so someone else could use? Oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm just speculating now, but it's interesting. Not quite. They were only unsuccessful back then. Next to the notes of old, I found others, written on cleaner, newer parchment with unfaded ink. Much of it was incomprehensible, written in languages I've never seen before. But various sketches of whales caught my eye, as did altered frostbite scrolls. Yes, yes, yes. So, the whale, the celestial whale, had a frost spell on it that was freezing it from the inside, and that's why it ate the star, because it wanted to melt. It wanted. Sorry, I'm like, ooh, brain galaxy brain. Okay. The whale ate the star to try to prevent itself from freezing to death, but that led to the fall of all the other stars. Oh man, this is so good. That sounds unsettlingly familiar. I fear that the star fall broke a sigil. By ripping holes into Cassiopeia's wings, it destabilized her flight. If she's damaged any further, time could be sent into disarray. Meanwhile, the tsunami, like I heard, didn't just plague the archives. The waves broke down the barriers between the primordial sea and the twilight chasms in ways never seen before. So that's 2 broken sigils? That's not good. What an incredible understatement. To witness one such sigil fracture would be anxiety-inducing enough. Knowing it has happened to 2 will keep me up for many nights. It's not 2, it's 3. 3? Alongside the notes... Oh. I found an old map with fresh markings. All the names were outdated, but the intention was clear, marked with the 5 interplanar portals. 30 years ago, their sudden appearance tore fissures into Gaia. I believe they were the first sigil. Bad, right? Very. Who could have done this? I don't know. And why, of all things? If the Aether Tree collapsed or even shifted from its perfect balance, the destruction would end us all. Who would want that? No one thinking rationally, that's for sure. They might have a good reason for it. Maybe we can talk them out of it? I doubt it. Me too. Whoever it may be that's causing this, they only have 2 sigils left. Would be quite bad, right? Don't they say that waking the Elder Dragon will start the apocalypse? They do. I feel like there's too many ways to start the apocalypse. Yeah, I agree. Oh, man. Oh. Maybe they're all connected, and waking will break the last sigil. Although, I like to think breaking all the sigils is indeed impossible. Because it's impossible to reach Tuat in the spirit realm, correct? It's not exactly impossible. One can make it to the spirit dragon via the astral sea at the dawn of the dying moon. That's in 5 days, right? Yes, but worry not. To reach such a specific location within the astral realm, very specific rituals are necessary, and Gaia's portal to Cassiopeia is indispensable. Said portal is located in and safely protected by the Aperture, the stronghold of the Order of Starlight, and its rituals must be performed with outstanding accuracy to withstand the treacherous astral currents. Only the highest-ranking members of the Order are privy to this knowledge, and I guarantee you all of us would rather die than aid in the destruction of this world. If the rest of them are half as stubborn as you are, I think we're well protected. Exactly. That's good then. The rest is worse. What's bad is that we don't know who's behind this, or why, by the dragons in the endless horizon, anyone would desire something so vile. I can already sense your next quest. But can I offer you a drink first? Your throat must be dry from all that exposition. You're right, innkeeper. My throat is dry from all that exposition. Oh man, so much lore dropped all at once. Ooh. I wouldn't say no to a drink. Perhaps something that will keep my mind intact. Defended from lunacy? I feel like I'm going mad. Say no more. Ah, man, I'm so nervous. Andu, save us! You're the only one who can save us, Andu. Andu. Okay. Okay. First snow. Steel tonic. I'm gonna go with first snow. First snow with honey flower. I feel like something defensive but comforting is probably what she needs. It's okay, Tia. Don't worry, it's okay. We'll deal with this, okay? We'll stop the apocalypse. A delicious defense against the absurdity of evil plots. Thank you. This makes me feel a little less conspiratorial. Torial? I needed a breather. You know what else would make for a great breather? Fable's barbecue. Exactly. You're right. That would be quite pleasant right now. That's right. Fable's barbecue. I wonder... Because Fable went to go find Melly. And we found Melly. But we haven't found Fable yet. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think the barbecue is happening today. Fable hasn't returned from their quest yet. Oh. What quest are they on? Finding Melina. But we just saw Melly on the way here. Perhaps they found another quest while out. Heroism can be infectious like that. Innkeep, what kind of drink did you mix them? None. Maybe we should go look for them. Maybe so. Please do. No one has seen them in days. And the last things I said to them, I'd hate for those words to stay the last. Please help me find them. Of course, I'm sure they could slay any monsters without us, but some extra hands couldn't hurt. But you'll have to deliver your apologies yourself. I'll slay that beast when it comes to it. Very well. But first we must solve our urgent sigil problem. I feel like we're just missing one piece. Oh, Kyle! I haven't seen you in forever. A piece of what? Cake? I'd like to order my usual cake, innkeeper. I don't serve cake. Never have. Oh, maybe you should. Another delicious delicacy would be. Also still no blood. Oh. The sorrow I'm feeling almost equals the grief I felt after the vampire glitter competition of 1389. Vampire glitter competition. Oh? I had run out of glitter. I could serve you one of my usual drinks to alleviate some of that heartache. That would be splendid. I'd like something to enhance my immortal strength. No shopping bags shall hold me back today. I'll see what I can do. Immortal strength. We haven't seen Kyle in forever. I hope Kyle is doing well. Cursed coffee. We haven't made that one yet. Let's see. So dexterity, intelligence, and strength. But nothing for charisma. Let's see. What would be good? Saberfang, maybe? Yeah, I think Saberfang would be fine. First coffee. I haven't made this one yet, so I'm intrigued. Yay, cursed coffee! Coffee talk. No, this is a different game. Here, with all the strength of a raging fire. Thank you, dear innkeeper. My blood is boiling with euphoria. Any particular reason for your shopping trip? A very particular one, dear innkeeper. It is a matter of life and death. I must head out to purchase this wondrous substance known as comfort food immediately. Do you know what comfort food is? I haven't the slightest idea. But it is rumored to restore you mortals back to full health. I'm afraid Rhea will perish should she not receive it. That sounds serious. Has she fallen ill? A fatal case of something called being in the zone. I assume it's highly dangerous. She's refused to move away from her drawing board for over a year now. She even threw me out of the room upstairs when I offered her a blood pellet snack. How will her body handle another year without food? I have some good news for you. Rhea hasn't been sketching for a year. Oh, Rhea hasn't been sketching for a year. You guys checked in yesterday. How fortunate. And as for your legendary item, you should ask her about it. Generally, everyone has a different idea of what they consider comfort food. How wondrous. Though something tells me you should give her some time before you go back upstairs to ask. Why? Her patience is on cooldown. I don't think Rhea is cold. Her room was very well heated. If anything, I think she's a very warm person. Right. Now, I suppose she seemed a bit cold when I offered her blood. Let's give her some time to warm up again. Very well. I shall remain for a while. And once I have acquired the correct comfort food, I will make sure my friend eats every last bite. Like a vampiric mother hen to her vampiric chick. I didn't know there were vampire chickens. There aren't. Do you know that for certain? Yes. I could have sworn the ones at my family's estate had fangs. Chickens can't develop teeth. And here I thought we were comrades in blood hunger. Chickens are still very fascinating all on their own. Did you know they have very colorful dreams? Oh, that's nice. I once helped a wild hen with her dream journal. I'll introduce you two sometime. Her favorite thing about chickens is that they purr when they're happy. Or, my favorite thing about chickens is that they purr. They purr when they're happy? What charming creatures. The more I learn, the more they remind me of vampires. So simple, sweet, and ferocious, yet their origin harbors one of the greatest mysteries of life. What came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg. The egg. Not going to weigh in? I'm intellectually withdrawing myself from this conversation. That's a good line. But unlike this unsolved mystery, I do know how vampires were created. Would you mind elaborating? Weren't you intellectually withdrawing? As a cleric of Cassiopeia, humility is a lifelong objective that I strive towards. As such, I must admit when I need to concede words spoken in haste. Which would be now, I suppose. Please, Kyle, if you wouldn't mind expanding on what you just said. Certainly. It must have been over 5 centuries ago, when a scholar stole some of the immortal blood of the dragons. The scholar offered it to Queen Annabeth, who had become the vampire's monarch. I have never heard of Queen Annabeth. I think that was just the plot of a really challenging board game, Kyle. Oh, you're right. So then, Mike was real after all. Mike? Yes, it's all coming back to me now. The first vampire that walked into this world was the infamous Mikhail, but most of us call him Mike. He had a very close connection to the spirit dragon in his domain. Eventually, Mike struck a deal with Tuat. In exchange for guarding the dragon's realm, he would get to live forever. But that didn't work out, I guess. Old Mike didn't read the fine print. The spirit dragon turned out to be a trickster. Tuat turned him into a new form of undead creature, invulnerable to age and disease, but still weak to the blade. Blood was the only thing he could stomach to consume, and with time even sunlight became intolerable. Mike was no longer welcome among the living, but the dead didn't want him either. And that's how the first vampire was created. Fascinating. There was so little known about the spirit dragon and his realm. Kyle, how do you possess knowledge that's considered ancient by today's standards? What knowledge? The knowledge you just told us about? Ah, I stumbled upon it in a grimoire I bought the other day at the local bookstore. Nope, that was a vampire romance book Care recommended to you. Try again. But of course. Dear Evelyn was such a history fanatic. How could I not pick up on a few stories? That was one of her favorites. I still dream of her deathly beautiful countenance, as she'd narrated tales until the intruder stopped screaming. She always told the story of our progenitor, Mike, so softly. She would cradle a vial of his blood, and her tone would turn so reverent. A secret to share just with me, she would say. I wonder if the vial of his blood is another sigil. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to break the last oath between us as well. I'm sure we can help you keep this a secret, right? A secret between new friends. If secrecy is how we can repay you for sharing this with us, then so be it. Since you seem to have been very close to her, I wanted to let you know. We traveled past Marrow Castle on our way back. It looked awfully damaged. The destruction looked so fresh. If only we had passed by earlier. Clay even spotted a heavily armored silhouette a short distance away from what remained of the castle walls. We hurried over as quickly as possible, but the shadow was gone by the time we got there. As it was, only rubble remained. Has she not paid enough for her deeds already? Must even her sanctuary, her tomb, be disturbed and torn apart? She was so unyielding on life. To have her memory trampled all over like this, desecrated without a second thought. It's just unforgivable. What if the armored figure is the main villain and he took the blood because it's a sigil? Oh God. I think I need to go ask Ray about her comfort food. Let's give him some time to come to terms with what he just learned. Oh. So much. Carolyn! And Scully! Greetings, brave adventurers. What's that noise? That's his spine. Oh, sorry. That's his spine. Indeed. Oh, are you all right? Worry not, friend. 'Tis but a scratch. So, about my drink order. How about telling me what's going on first? And returning to a proper order of conversation? Apologies, friend. I might have jumped the crossbow there. Let us recount our tale properly, Dame Carolyn. Don't think there's much to tell, honestly. You look exhausted. Are you wanting some rest then? No, just wanted a drink. That can be arranged. Something to regain my strength. A good one might net you a story. No pressure, Care. Oh. Oh my. What happened? Strength. Let's go with Sailor's Courage again. Do. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. you. I'm thinking about all the new lore we just learned today. Oh, so much. Who's going around breaking the sigils? It certainly explains a lot of the stuff that's been happening. A great drink for a great story. Aren't you lucky? I'd like to think luck has nothing to do with it. Perhaps not. I might have something else to cheer you up. Oh? Melly's back. Oh! Relieved? Like a great sword's been lifted off my shoulders. Is she alright? Yes, though you might prefer to see for yourself. She and Nils left me their address to give you. Who? Ah, you know them. Right, got it. Only one person would fit such an uninspired name. You better have apologized to Melly or else. You'll have to find out the details for yourself. Just don't keep them waiting for too long. Don't need to tell me that. Fable isn't back then? No. Sure are taking their time. Feel like looking for them yet? No, they're capable. Just my patience is starting to wear thin. You had some to begin with? You're pretty chatty for someone within greatsword distance. Right. Can I interest you in one of my drinks as well, Scully? With an offer like that, my friend, how can a skeleton say no? Perhaps something to enhance my aura? I'd like to do the proclamation of this tale proper justice. Okay. So charisma-based? Yep. Charisma. 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 Let's go with Sunny Breeze. With Honeyflower? Honeyflower. Honeyflower. Honey. Honeyflower. Honey. Honeyflower. I wonder what honeyflower tastes like. Is it delicious? Alright. Honeyflower tea would probably be good. Please enjoy. Oh my. They say manners maketh man, but this drink alone has invigorated me plenty. I can almost feel the warmth of flesh on my bones again. A pleasure to be of service? You seem awfully eager to talk about this. And you're not? Was it no help in alleviating that accursed boredom? It was eventful, all right. Just lacking a sense of accomplishment, I guess. But no use continuing this pity party. Let's start telling the story I know you're itching for. Much obliged. We started by making our way westwards, though our progress was slow. Any complications? Yes, quite a few. Before embarking on this journey, I was woefully ignorant about the plight of the Fasoan farmers. The less than ideal weather conditions. The flood that ruined a lot of crops. And now this pesky undead problem. I was stricken with empathy for their struggle. The least we could do was... Sorry, I was distracted because it looks like one of his pupils is a diamond shape and I got distracted. The least we could have done was offer up our means of transportation for any soul looking for a better life further up north. So we switched carriages. 3 times. By the 3rd time we had gotten so far, of course, it took us a whole day just to get back on track. On foot. But once our hike was over, we did get to spend a wonderful afternoon with Dame Carolyn's cousin, Lady Danica. It was nice, I guess. The cousin with the undead snail problem, yes? Did you manage to liven up that garden for her? Sure did. Just had to set out some cabbage to lead them somewhere we wouldn't be damaging any crops, and they were vanquished with just one magnificent blessed strike. Truly a sight to behold. It was just some undead snails. No need to have gotten so excited. I need a sip of tea. Undead snails. That's intriguing. To match the excitement, Lady Danica served us some positively delightful cups of tea. Better than any accompanying finger sandwiches were some new facts I had gleaned from observing the snails. Even lacking souls, they still displayed some pack behavior. They acted nothing like real animals, of course, but somehow I was struck with empathy for their plight. To unconsciously seek out a manner of instinctual action, despite the lack of anything to grant them a conscious objective. Is there a more transparent yearning for purpose than that? My apologies. It appears that what they say about old age is true. You can't help but philosophize. And you couldn't help but relate? Philosophize. Excuse me. In a way, one can't help but wonder whether any choice I make is truly my own, or just a post-mortem reflex of these old bones. Perhaps even my thirst for knowledge. And yet your enjoyment of it seems genuine. Truly, innkeeper, you have a way with words. Just lots of experience. Though that may be, my worries seem rather foolish now. I count myself as quite fortuitous that despite all that my memory lacks, I can delight in learning it all again. Does it really matter, then, where such an urge comes from? Anyhow, my apologies, Dame Carolyn. I completely derailed our epic tale. Allow me to make up for it by continuing post-haste. We departed after that lovely cup of tea, and finally headed for the Pale Woods. Lady Danica provided us with a cart and a trusty steed, a cow with the most lovely temperament. Her name's Lieselot. Our host also gifted us this delightful lucky charm, so that no evil would hurt us or Lieselot on our way. But now that our little adventure is over, we thought we'd give it to you instead. Some extra luck never hurts. Ooh. That's an adorable little fella. Thank you very much. Where is it? Oh, is it this? This right here? Can I click on this? I want to see what's on there. Glad you like it. I apologize. I derailed again. Where was I? Our journey. I made sure to greet the gentleman that passed us on our way to the woods. What magnificent shadow armor he was wearing. Something about it felt oddly familiar. Uh-oh. Perhaps it was only my hope that we would look just as gallant after our quest. Lieselot valiantly took us to the edge of the forest, where maliciousness permeated the very air we breathed. What he means is, it stunk real bad. We left Lieselot there. Sparing her the stench seemed like the right thing to do. And forth we ventured. Didn't take a long time to find what we were looking for. The place was crawling with them, which also explained the shrunyon smell. For some reason, the miasma didn't seem to bother me much. It's 'cause you don't have a nose. Most respectfully, you don't have a nose. Oh, of course. Anyways, there was a veritable horde before us, an army of undead creatures shambling their way through the forest. One gnawed tree at a time. They were awfully interested in those trees, it's true. At that point, I was ready to start decimating their numbers. And I would have done so if Scully hadn't held me back just as I was unsheathing my sword. I was keen to observe them for a moment longer. The undead creatures were displaying similar patterns to those snails. They weren't just stumbling around senselessly. They seemed to be following a pack leader. Maybe there was a non-violent solution left at hand after all. I convinced Dame Carolyn to hold off on the violence for just a bit longer. I was still working out the best point from which to attack them. Couldn't hurt to try out Scully's idea first. Except it did hurt. Yeah. While Dame Carolyn remained hidden in the shadows of the thicket, I walked up to the leader, another skeleton, making sure I displayed an open and respectful disposition. I suppose they were not open and respectful in return? Nope. Before I could even react, the skeleton had bitten down on Scully's arm. Agony! Without putting much thought into it, I threw one of my knives. Sorry, I only realized later that the knife I threw was one I had accidentally taken from here. Accidentally, was it? Yeah, a mistake, honest. Spit it out already. I'll replace it or pay you back, or... Don't worry, I'm just joking. If it kept you too safe, then I'm glad you accidentally took it. Thankfully, your drink did its job wonderfully as well. Their teeth were unable to leave even a scratch on me. Dame Carolyn was as fast as the wind as she got me away from the hungry undead. And so our fierce battle began. With ease, Dame Carolyn took out several of them at once. Would have been easier if I hadn't had to carry you. My apologies, I was still mourning the breakdown in communication. But I got back on my feet eventually. Before long, we were both battling off swarms of undead. They seemed endless. For every undead creature defeated, 2 would take their place, dragging the battle on. If I know one thing about fighting, is that you need to watch your stamina. We wouldn't last forever, but our enemies could. One of them cleaved me straight in half. I was lucky Dame Carolyn caught my upper body. But I'm fairly certain we mixed up the order of some of my thoracic vertebrae when we put me back together. Still, being held in her arms put me in the perfect position for a strategy meeting. I thought back to how we had dealt with those snails. We felt like I needed to maximize the impact of my blessed strikes, and failed them all with just one, and here I thought they were going to try to lure them away with cabbage. So we baited them and ran, leading them to a nearby clearing. My separated legs rounded up the ones that didn't fall for the first baiting. And once at the clearing, I reunited with myself, luring them all towards the center. As all of the undead creatures gathered around my 2 halves, the sky cleared up. And like a crash of thunder, the sound of Dame Carolyn descending from the sky, or a tree, was all that could be heard. For a moment, my eye holes were completely blinded by the radiance of that blessed strike. You're exaggerating. I like it. Sounds very heroic. It was. Don't think it counts when what I did was essentially pointless. Did the strike not land? It did. While the strike hit home, I realized most of the creatures could be resurrected again at any point. It's a shame, truly. Even though we fought so valiantly. Oh! But we did get you something else as well, innkeeper. Right. Here. The trees looked really chewed on, and dead. But the berries seemed like they were thriving. They were the ones Elfie was going on about. Not like they're here to appreciate them now, so I guess you can have them. Just set some aside to make Fable a drink when they're back. Sounds fair. Ah, Ghostberry. It was very kind of you to bring them back for your friend. Ghostberry, it's a new infusion. Oh my gosh, it looks like a little ghost. I love it. Invisibility. Ooh. Ghostberries are nearly translucent and only grow deep within the moon swamp for a few months every year. They're safe to eat, but rather sour to taste. Ooh, invisibility. Interesting. I love it. Yeah. I still wonder what all those undead creatures were doing there. No idea. Hunger? Though it did look like they were going somewhere. Seemed to be heading north. Maybe they were searching for more trees? The Pale Woods is one of the largest forests in Versoa. I don't see a reason for them to leave the area before it was barren. Unless they were ordered to. Don't they typically come with a necromancer attached? Oh my, they do. And you don't suppose that gentleman we encountered outside the woods could have been that very necromancer? I don't think farmers wear armor like what you described. Shrunyan! Just realized where they could be headed. It's true there aren't many woods around here that compare to the Pale Woods. But that giant root in the capital must look pretty good to some tree-obsessed undeads. Shrunyan indeed. Oh no. They're going after the Aether tree. Just to clarify, you believe hordes of undead creatures are marching towards the capital? Well, towards the roots would be my guess. I see. They're heading towards Themis to gnaw at the divine roots, as if to Fell the Aether Tree? Precisely. Not that such an action alone could destroy the whole thing, but it'd certainly do some damage. What in the shrunion are you talking about? As I just stated, someone is trying to destroy the Aether Tree. The starfall, the primordial flood, even the interplanar portals, it's all part of a big plot. Was that not clear? No. Oh my, that's awful. And insane if true. Is it working? Unfortunately so. What do you see? The stars in the night sky? And we don't know who's behind it yet either. Well... Carolyn, Mr. Scully, the gentle person you greeted outside of the woods, you thought he might be a necromancer? He certainly bore the armor of one. Did he seem like he wanted to kill everyone? Not particularly. That can be hard to tell sometimes. Politeness and the desire for homicide aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. Necromancers resurrect dead things to make undead creatures. Indeed they do. So, Scully, you were resurrected, right? Do you remember anything about it? Well, I admit, at first I recalled very little from the start of my new life. I mostly stumbled about trying to remember my manners. But my memories, or rather, the memories of my body, which I suppose are also my memories, have been getting clearer lately. Let me try to focus my thoughts. I believe I awakened in the archives, in the Everbloom. The Everbloom? Are you sure? Who woke you up? A gentleman of fine age. I believe he was there to do research? I remember candles held over notes scribbled on paper, ink stains on fingertips. He must have found me near my friend's study. I remember I was looking for her when... After I woke, I simply left. How rude and uninquisitive of me. I should have asked what he was researching. I could have helped. Be glad you did not aid him. We found his notes. They spoke of the destruction of the universe. Did the guy from the woods remind you of the one in the archives? Now that you mention it. I wasn't conscious enough to recognize faces when I rose, but I knew the armor looked familiar. I think I saw it when I first reopened my eyes. Metaphorically, of course. I no longer have eyelids. Necromancers behind all this? Is he trying to break the sigils just to get to Tuat, the spirit dragon in the realm of death? Sigils? Are you perchance speaking of the sigils of Alcahest? My friend was researching them once. I always thought them a wild figment of her imagination. Seems like they're not, unfortunately. Do necromancers usually want to destroy Tuat? No, but they do defy his laws of life and death. Perhaps he craves access to all the souls the spirit dragon gods. Or he plans to destroy death once and for all with his perversions. But, my dears, to destroy Tuat, one must find him first. That in itself would be quite the impossible task, no? Not exactly. The spirit realm is well protected, but there are ways to get to him. Can you kill death? I don't know, but merely attempting it sounds disastrous. Miss Anwar, Mr. Moore, Tuat is the god of death. No matter how insane the necromancer, no one could possess a weapon powerful enough to fight a god. Only weapons made by dragons can harm them. We all know this. You mean like Ur's great axe? A weapon forged for the dragons, by the dragons, meant only for their claws. Oh no! What if, oh no. What if he's trying to wake Ur, which is another sigil, and then get his great axe and then use it to kill Tuat? Oh no! The axe. It could certainly cut through the barrier between the astral sea and the upper world, if not through Tuat himself. Would stealing an axe from a dragon count as a sigil? Alright, y'all lost me again. I talked about this already. Keep up. I'll explain later. It might count as a sigil if it awakens Ur or damages their plane. Ur should not be awakened under any circumstances. Nor should their legendary weapon fall into the hands of a mere mortal. My, this is quite concerning. I'm right there with you. This seems like too insane of a plot. Even for some big bad evil guy. They always seem to be reaching for new heights in their dastardly schemes. If we are correct, this one plans to steal Ur's weapon, break the sigil, and then destroy Tuat. Dragons be with us. What about the undead creatures marching towards the capital? It must be a distraction, a way to keep anyone who would interfere off his back. Quite the dangerous distraction, if you ask me. Those Shrunians shouldn't be snacking away those roots either way, should they? No. And those sigils of alcohol, zest you keep talking about, could do what? Destroy the tree? The spirit realm rests above all others in the canopy of our world. If what we believe to be this monster's plan succeeds, it will collapse down the rest of the Aether Tree. Not only would that free all dead souls, it would destroy the tree, our home, our cosmos, and everything below it. It would destroy our world as we know it. Not to mention, Tuat might die. I don't think I have to explain to you why death dying would be a bad thing. Rumor unlocked. Big evil plan. Once again, can he die? Wouldn't risk it. Though I believe this plot of his has to be limited somewhat, no? Perhaps to the transitional period between the astral moon and the dying moon? Only then would the veil between Cassiopeia and Tuat be thin enough for a ritual of such magnitude to succeed. Wait, what you mean is this can only happen the night between the 35th of Cassiopeia and the 1st of Tuat? So it can only work in 4 days? Or next year? Precisely. I guess you can't have a ritual without unnecessarily complicated rules. It is common courtesy. Clay, I've been wondering, remember that man we saw on our way back near Marrow Castle? Yes, do you think he might have been the same guy? I do. Strange armor sounds familiar, as does the convenient proximity to destruction. And more so, that blood of the first vampire Kyle spoke of. Part of the ritual to safely traverse the astral sea involves having an associated anchor for your destination. To find Tuat, you need something connected to him. Like the blood of a vampire eternally bound to him? Yes, maybe our villain got his hands on it. Perhaps he knows more of Cassiopeia than I anticipated. All this out-of-context Shrunian is giving me a headache. Innkeep, got another drink to spare to help with all this mess? Something powerful enough to get me through this? Anything for you, Care. Oh my gosh. Ooh, this is a very eventful episode. Strength. Lurking in the shadows. I've made a lot of Sailor's Courage lately, so I'm inclined to go with something else. Southern Brawler? I could go with Silent Owl. I haven't done anything with that one yet. Let's go with Silent Owl with Saberfang. Or, wait, no, that's... No, sorry. That one is intelligence-based. I misread it. Oops. Okay. You know what? I'll make you a cursed coffee too. Why not? Here you go, have some cursed coffee. I put all the strength I have into this drink. Enjoy. I think you just put parts of my sanity back together. Thanks a lot. Anytime. So, this madman, if he can't get the axe, he can't kill the spirit dragon, right? Correct. Great. What's stopping him from giving the axe then? Great idea. I know. Now, how do we do that? Well, first the necromancer needs to find it. For that, he'd have to get to Ur's realm. Thanks to the portals, that is entirely within the realm of possibility. One would simply have to journey through one of the portals to the Twilight Chasm. And then enter the endless caves through the Nightmare Realm. Nothing easier than that. Didn't Melly see some weird new bone waymarkers near the Twilight Chasm portal in the Moon Swamps? Could they be there to remind someone, say a necromancer, of the way to the portal? They could. Good. The moon pools are much easier to reach than Boreas. We should catch the necromancer before he ventures into the chasm, and most certainly before he gets the axe. Great! Let's go beat his it. Hold on. I have faith in you, but... He sounds powerful. How about a backup plan? Hate to say it, but you're not wrong. Thanks for looking out for us. If we don't manage to stop him from getting the weapon, we stand no chance in a fight against him. Even your divine strikes would be no match, Miss Anwar. That is true. We'd need an incredibly powerful weapon to match his. Not sure if it's enough, but I do have this sword I got from my baba. Let me see it. Oh yeah, didn't her baba say that it was a gift from the dragons? This is remarkable craftsmanship, infused with minor divine powers. Incredible. But I'm afraid even this cannot rival the great axe in any capacity. What if it was mixed with dragon fire? What? Do you happen to have such a thing on hand, young lad? No, but I know where we can find some. The ever-burning flame in the Highlands is dragon fire. The one you wanted to see, Tia. I think now might be a good time for that. You're right. Dragonfire merged with Carolyn's blessed sword. It wouldn't be as powerful as the axe, but it might give us a fighting chance. If we had a master craftsman to forge it, that is. Rhea, she's a blacksmith. You're right, there's no one better for the job. I'm sure she'd love to forge such a weapon. And I'm sure you can convince her of the importance, Care. You got that right. Leave the blacksmith recruiting to me. Very well. I'm sure Master Smith Frostgrip will be delighted with this opportunity. Having her on our side makes me even more confident that we can stop this necromancer's plans. I have the utmost faith in us. And I know the aperture and its astral portals are well protected even if we should fail. Though I don't believe we will. Because I know I'm strong enough to best this battle, and that Clay is as well. And the others too. Yes, the others too. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if the 4 of you will be enough. Don't worry, there's a lot of people we can ask for help. Like you. Like me. Ask away. I knew we could count on you. You collect everything we talk about, right? I try my best. Could you write us up 2 quests for all this? I think we should split our resources so we get the backup plan going at the same time. Good idea, young man. Plus, it'll give us an excuse to have your drinks help us. Not that you need an excuse, but I appreciate you following my rituals. I'll see what I can do. I should have something written up first thing in the morning. I trust in you as you trust in us. Cautiously? Exactly. Cautiously, but with hope. With hope, yes. We'll see you in the morning then. Cannon, come with us. We owe you a few explanations before we make you do any persuasion work for us. You got that right. Let's go. Oh my. I cannot miss out on more possible details. I shall see you in the morning, Innkeep. Thank you for all your help. Let's save the world, alright? Let's, Clay. Good luck. Oh. Oh, so much pressure. Okay. You like spooky arbor and plum grapes. Ooh, okay. Good thing no cleric would ever aid in something like that. Oh, man. Let's see. There's so many of these that I feel like it could No? Let's see. Is it? Twilight Chase. World calamity is imminent, but there's one last way to save it. The only weapon strong enough to harm Tuat in the Aether Tree is the legendary Great Axe of Ur. The personification of evil wants it desperately. But first he must make it through the Twilight Chasm, and for that he needs a portal. Sounds like a good location to stop him, right? Yes it does. Okay. And where is it? This one? Yeah. Heir of Dragonfire. Only a weapon forged in Dragonfire could ever dream to hold up against the legendary Great Axe of Ur. Luckily, a temple in the Highlands houses the ever-burning flame, an ancient gift from the dragons that'll come in handy right about now. And what better sword to reshape with this flame than another gift from the Realm Keepers, an heirloom passed down to Carolyn with heroism scorched into its very essence. Ooh, okay. Let's see. This one's about the Aether Tree. The Dead Parade. A horde of undead is approaching the capital. Their insatiable hunger for the local flora leads them to the exposed roots of the Aether Tree, and therefore to the capital of Themis, since it lies nestled in the safety of the roots. This is a mere distraction so the necromancer can fulfill his true plan, but the undead still must be stopped before they hunger for flesh once more. Oh my. Ooh, 3 quests. That was a lot. Oh, I'm worried about Fable, and I'm worried about the destruction of their world. Ugh, I hope Fable comes back in enough time. I just want everyone to be safe. Oh no. Twilight Zinnias. Ooh, that was a lot. I think I'm gonna leave it at that for this episode. Ooh. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a very comfy night. Bye!